Know what it is. I mean, Mr. Make It Rain, right hand. We're gonna start
Salute.
with a prayer real quick. You know what I mean? That's how we do it, right?
All right.
Okay, so let's start with a prayer. Mr. Make It Rain, the legendary Black Ice, Mr. King George. Didn't we say we was gonna make this happen?
Absolutely.
How many times in sessions? Bang, bang, bang.
Absolutely.
You hear me? Dot, welcome to the team and the Glockware family. Please start with a prayer.
It is said that anything that begins without the name of the Most High lacks benefit. So therefore I begin in the name of the Most High, the most compassionate, the most merciful. And may all of the world receive his guidance, receive his light, receive the truth, and all that is of benefit. May we move forward and never look back. May we be guided aright, straight, without any deviation, and without any path that's crooked. Let us be those who will attain success in this life and hereafter. Amen.
Amen.
This is Mr. Make It Rain already. Welcome to the SSM, the Social Music Movement Podcast. And we are coming to you live with the legendary Black Ice in the building.
Let's go. Let's go.
Teflon Promotions. And we also have in the building
King George, you already know. Let's go.
Black Magazine, Trey One. This is Glockware Radio. You are now tuned in. Let's get this thing started.
Let's get it started.
Now listen, for those who don't know, this is the legendary Black Ice. Now, the legendary in the beginning of the name isn't just for anything. This man has accolades. This man, just to start off, is one of the first poets that was signed to Russell Simmons.
Absolutely.
This man has awards. We're not talking about local awards. We're talking about global awards.
I got them too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are talking about Tony Awards, Peabody Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Emmys?
Emmy.
We got Emmys.
Yeah, Emmys. Six-time HBO and Broadway Deaf Poet.
Yes.
I got a Philly Hip Hop Award too, though. Like
Ooh.
twice.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
And you hailing out of Philadelphia,
Oh, the Badlands.
the Badlands.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Six and
wow.
Dolphin, yeah.
Wow.
So this is North Philly to the rest of the world, y'all. This is inspiration for everybody who's coming from out of the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
This is inspiration for everybody who needs that motivation to say, can I make it?
Yeah.
It takes this. It takes the brain, it takes the mind. The universe is mental. Use that mind, use your thoughts, and you get far. So, what started you on the path that led you up to the day?
Wow. That's a loaded question. But then not really, right? I've just always been me. It's always been my path. Fortunately, I was grew by a mom who, and I'm from that era. I'm 51. And so I'm from the era. I think my generation might have been the last generation of Philly hood children that still had teachers that practiced the art of teaching, and not just teaching the test. Right. I'm from the era where we had boys clubs and males. You know, there was some type of male figure in our life somewhere. You know, me, fortunately, I had a rare wealth because although a young black cat from North Philly, I had my pop, I had my uncles, I had my grandfather, which I think is which is a heavy thing when it comes to young black men.
Absolutely.
You know, like it's a very important thing for a son to see his father be a son, and most young cats don't most young cats that I grew up with did not grow up with their father, let alone watching their father, being able to experience their father be a son to their grandfather. You know, there's a whole different kind of pecking order and a whole different kind of level of respect and loyalty, if you will, to, you know, to the OGs. So, you know, my mom was one that always, when you say, you know, what started me on my path, when my brothers and I were young, my mom always told us, and my elementary school teacher, Miss Brooks, I went to John B. Kelly in Germantown.
Okay.
And one thing that she always told us was that don't ever let anybody ask you who you want to be when you grow up, right? The question was always, who are you? Right. You know, when you ask a child who they want to be when they grow up, you're pulling them outside of themselves, and you ask them to go into some figment of their imagination. Always ask a child who they are as they're coming up, because the only person that you want a child to be is the best person that child can be. Right? So I've always been an artist. My mom told me that very early off. I wanted to play ball. I didn't really want to play ball. I just wanted the uniform.
You want to look good.
Yeah, I thought that I'm an artist. So the creative part about that was the thing to me, right? It was like, damn, they all got on the same uniforms. And my older brother played ball. I was like, I want to be on the ball team because all the niggas got the same uniforms on. That shit look hot to me.
Yeah.
But my mom she supported me until she came to the first game. And then she saw, like, first of all, you don't even get no tick. You know, we had to be up 30 or down 30 in order for me to get tick.
Yeah.
And then when I got in, you know, I never paid attention in practice, nothing like that. So I got in and I was in for 30 seconds, then I got pulled out. And on the way home, my mom said, hey, listen, you know, you are not an athlete. You know, you can draw, you can act, you write well, you're creative. That's your nest egg right there.
Right.
Yes.
Master that.
Right.
And you know that, and you master yourself. Your brother is an athlete. You know, you are not an athlete. And that was okay. A lot of times, you know, so for me, my mom set me out on my path and never let me veer off of that.
Okay.
Right. You know, like in 9th grade, my brother went to Masterman, and my stepsister, they all went to like smart ass school. So I was like, I got accepted to engineering and science. I should have went to Kappa, but Kappa wasn't cool enough for me. So I was like, I don't want to go to Kappa. That's a fame school.
I was about to say,
that's
like fame back in the day.
That's exactly where I should have went though. You know what I'm saying? But instead, I wanted to go to engineering and science. I didn't care two shits about anything having to do with engineering or science. But I wanted to do that. And my mom, that I actually moved with my pop that, you know, a couple years before. So she didn't have as much say-so in that. So I learned that lesson of veering off my path. So, you know, like I've always been on this. It's a real simple answer to that. I've always been Lamar. You know, at a certain point, you know, Lamar wasn't cool enough to introduce on stage. So I came up with, well, I actually didn't come up with Black Ice. It was given to me, description from Abi O'Doon, from The Last Poets. Abi O'Doon had these Sunday sessions up at his house at 125th in New York. And you go up and first cats will go and play ball, right? Like, it's like be a bunch of poets, but they run rock. I never ran rock with them though, you know, of course. So, but one day I was up there, and you know, New York cats at that time in the 90s was like big baggy niggas. And Philly cats, we was polo. Right. We was always polo down, we was always sharp. Of all the, even when they had like gang culture and whatnot was popping, Philly was a get money town. It wasn't a gang town. And so when I went up there, it was around the time Love Jones was popping off. And so Abi O'Doon kind of looked at me. Because I hadn't really said nothing. I was like a fly on the wall. And then he said, so you know, the Twin Poets, shout out to Twin Poets from Delaware. Twin Poets, they took me up there, and he's like, oh, you know, Lamar, he spit too. So he's like, oh, you spit too? Go ahead and spit something for me. And so I let it go. And he was like, oh, shit, I didn't know, because I had some slick shit on, it's like shoes or something on. And he's like, man, I thought you was one of them Love Jones poets. You know, I didn't know you was like that. He was like, man, I slipped up on you like Black Ice. I said, you know, that was the first like little light bulb. And then maybe 2 weeks later, Sonia Sanchez, Philly's own Sonia Sanchez. I was doing a tribute to her, and she described me the same way as the weather turned black ice.
Yes.
So at that point, I was like, okay, I could take on a description because it's not necessarily anything other than that. Felt like a cartoon, like a superhero name, and I've lived my life just being me.
Yeah.
So to become anything that is a characterization or anything fictional beyond me, I'm a barber by trade, so that calls to be as real as you can be. It's a very personal job. So, and that's where Black Ice came from. The legendary, my man told me to add that to my name because it was this cat out Chicago who decided, I don't know, the name is self Black Ice.
Right.
He's to become a poet and name himself Black Ice, but he spelled his name BLAQ, which that it's not spelled that way in any language on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So, and he was trash. You know what I'm saying? So,
I hear that.
So my man was like, but he was literally going around, and he had collected a couple dollars that was meant for me, a couple different promoters. So it was like, my man said, you're gonna have to distinguish yourself from this cat.
Yeah.
So he's like, man, you're legendary, so you should put legendary on your name. So I say that to say, like, I've never named myself anything.
Yes.
Right. I've never been a self-proclaimed anything other than a self-proclaimed good dude. Right. I try to be a good dude.
Okay. And that's how it's normally given. You know what I'm saying? You do your thing, and then the people won't tell you what you are.
Absolutely.
And for the listeners, I want y'all to understand, like, the people he just mentioned aren't just anybody. Do the research behind the names he just said. Sonia Sanchez, legendary. We talking about history, elders. When we talk about the last poet society.
Wow. Abi Odun, Umar Ben Hassan, niggas are scared of revolution.
Right.
I'm learning so much right now.
Most cats don't know, like, party and bullshit, Notorious Big. And party and bullshit. That's a line that was sampled from the Last Poets. It's like, when the revolution comes, niggas will be doing this, blah, blah, blah. He said, but until the revolution comes, niggas will party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party, and then they sampled that. And then you have the hit song, but yeah, Last Poets, Watts Prophets, these are my elders.
Okay, that's cool. I got a question.
Yeah.
Man, I got a question for you. How did growing up on the Philly streets help shape your poetry?
Oh shit.
Home of the spitters.
Growing up in Philly is my poetry. Like it's like life shapes your poetry, right? Because our poetry is just a microcosm of our truth.
Yes.
It's the truth. It's the pieces of our truth that we know how to make pretty.
Yeah.
Right. And so my poetry, my life is my life itself, my life experience is the poetry.
Yes.
Lone Soldier. I got a poem called Lone Soldier about being a single father, or a co-parent that's not with their child's mom.
Yes.
And the beginning line is, my pop always told me I understand when I got older. That's not just a pretty line I came up with. Like, I remember literally sitting in the car with my pop, and him saying that to me as he was starting the car up with his Newport, and he's tapping his Newport in one hand, starting the car up, and he said, I'm a lone soldier, boy. You'll understand when you get older. Right? So when I say that line, it's not just a cute line. It's a direct line from my life.
Yes.
How you figure, everybody calls the poem Bigger Than Mine, but the name of the poem is Front Page. And the reason why it's called Front Page, I'm a barber by trade. I used to work at the hair company. Shout out to the hair company and all my homies at the hair company, Lightfoot, all day. Yeah. I show my age. I have no problem with it at all.
Yeah.
Stars and Stripes.
And that poem, where how you figure your shit is bigger than mine. Yeah. That poem was inspired when, some of y'all might be too young to remember, but in the 90s there was a huge indictment that happened. Where the Daily News, when the indictment went down the next day, the Daily News put a picture of everybody that got indicted in the like first 3-4 pages of the newspaper. Like every cat. So we serviced a lot of street cats. And so I'm sitting there one day reading the front page, reading the newspaper in my barber chair, and I'm like, oh damn, that's that cat that changed his name from David to Ayatollah. Of course, I switched the names up, but we're from Philly. We have the most converted Muslim population in the country.
Absolutely.
And so that's where that comes. That's that cat that changed his name from such and such to such and such.
Okay.
And so that day, the day that poem was inspired, one of my longtime clients, Street Hustler, would come in. He'd come in. Sometimes he'd come in every week when the streets was good. Sometimes I might not see him for, a month and a half. First thing to go when it's tight outside is the barber. So he comes in one day, and one of my long-term clients that worked for the gas company had an event to get to, and he couldn't wait. That usually, if I got a hustler come in, one of my regular clients, if I know my hustler is gonna hand me a bean, my next client, I'm gonna get him right in because my next client, that's on me, right? So, but that day my man couldn't wait, so I go to my hustler and I'm like, hey man, I can't get you in right. You gotta let me get this one out the way, and he snapped on me. Nah, man, what you talking about? Man, fam, blah, 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 blah. Listen, man, I hear you, but today you gotta wait this one. My man got somewhere to go. Yeah, nigga, cause you act like you don't know who I am, nigga, blah, blah. And I say, I know who you are, but my man, I might not see you for another month. When I see you, I'm always appreciative. But my man come in here every week, and he budgets that little $25 out of his paycheck. So the day he can't wait. And my man, that's my man. So he said, oh, man, fuck you, you know what I'm saying? Just that other, he cussed me out. Y'all know the hair company is a long runway. Cussed me out all the way down the runway. Yeah, this punk ass niggas, y'all, and then he got to the front door, and he's like, you better not come down North Philly, nigga. And because I'm a smart ass, I was like, the whole North Philly, it was that, but that pissed me off just because, we let this pseudo ego shit get to us, and turn us away from being human. And in another instance, there was these two cats. We serviced a lot of hustlers, and so we watched cats bring their sons in. And one day we were in there, and it was like probably a Saturday afternoon. Two big hustlers, and from the city, and they had their sons in there. And their sons got into a little argument. Sons couldn't been no more than 5 years old. They got into a little argument, and they got to pushing each other. And a lot of times us as barbers and men, you got the street hustlers. So cats watch they walk around the street hustlers because you never know cats' ego or whatever. So cats say, one cat says, man, let them niggas rumble. It's 2 5-year-old little boys. It's a bunch of men. And 2 5-year-old little boys, and we egging them to go at each other. And I sat there, and I sat there quiet. And I felt helpless, as I know a couple of my brothers who worked in the barbershop felt equally as helpless. Because we want to say something, but we can't say something because these two street gangsters, one we know is a killer, one we know is a squabber. We know they both about drama, but we know that this ain't right. But not only is it money involved, so to sit there and feel helpless to a certain extent. And also at that place of like, when is it our business? If we're a community and we're a village,
who takes the initiative?
Right?
We step up.
Somebody has to check these cats. So this is where the disconnect of our communities have come in at. Because you get these same cats that can laugh and joke and ha about football games and everything else, but then these two cats' sons, something that's very, very important. These two cats' sons get to fighting each other rather than show them how to peacefully be brothers.
Yes.
We let them go at it.
Wow.
Right? And so I went home, and I was that really was the catalyst that sent me home to the pen. So when you talk about what inspires my work, it sent me right home, because the only thing that I felt like I could do to check it was to write this thing out.
Absolutely.
Conversations from the bars.
You know,
Absolutely.
so when you that's where all my work, my life is my work, and vice versa.
I respect that, man. So much. Do you have, besides yourself, I want to know, do you have a inspirational, matter of fact, or do you have a favorite poet?
You have a favorite poet?
Do I have a favorite poet?
Yes.
I got favorite poets from different eras.
Okay.
But I got, like, now I'm not my favorite poet.
Okay.
I'm not my favorite poet. I do what I do.
Yeah.
My favorite poet, if I had to say, my favorite poets are Sonny Patterson and Amir Suleiman.
Okay.
Amir, if y'all not up on Amir Suleiman, y'all all got homework.
I'm gonna look that up.
Like, Amir is a brother, Muslim brother too. Grew up, born and raised Muslim from New York. Amir is one of my close brothers. There's not too many people in the world that do this with me, but whenever I'm around Sonny or Amir, something in their spirit forces me to be the best Lamar I could be. Right? Like, they're just very, very genuine cats. Amir came out with an album last year, him and Robert Glasper. You Will Be Someone's Ancestor, Act Accordingly. That was his album. And Sonny Patterson is signed the 2 Chainz label, but she's on a whole bunch of stuff. She's a Yoruba priestess from New Orleans. Incredible. So those are my favorite contemporary poets.
Okay.
I love Lord Byron from the 1800s because he was the breakup artist. Like,
okay.
He wrote the most extreme breakup artists and breakup poetry. But I also like Kafka. It's just ancient. I like Khalil Gibran, the Prophet.
Okay.
Leonard Cohen is really dope. I'm a lover of the arts. And of course, Amiri Baraka, The Last Poets, Wise Prophets, Oscar Brown Jr., Sekou Sundiata. Okay. Like, those are more my OGs.
Okay, I got to get deeper into my poetry bag. I'm hearing so many poets now.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the thing is, to be a poet is not just to be a wordsmith. It means you got a stake in philosophy, you got a stake in spiritualism, you have a stake in humanity and activism. Like, we have to be all of those things, at once. So you got to be a study of the art. Yes. Like, that's
absolutely. That's your craft.
Yeah.
That's your craft. I'm not to mean to interject, but we do have to go to commercial real quick. Shout out to Glockware Radio, Toucan, and the whole Glockware family for holding it down.
Shout out.
Love y'all. But also we have to get the Teflon as well, but also leading well. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ask him yet? We would like you to do a special poem. We're gonna ask after this break. Toucan, take us to break.
Social
Yes, I did.
music.
Yes, I did. Toucan. You know what I mean?
We gonna ask you to do
If y'all don't know, pay attention.
Say
Y'all don't
no
know.
if you want to.
Pay it.
Huh?
But I hate to play if you push me. See, nigga, while you stand there using all your heart trying to look the part with your cold, still eyes, nigga, you don't realize you just pussy for sale. Now, see, I would call you female, but you too frail. While she held queen, I mean, your existence is fractionally vaginal. Like the slits of the whores you use to suit your feeble needs. You know, saturated soil and faulty fertilizer. Sure, your future seeds will be just like you, pussy, for sale. On corner auction blocks, lost flocks of brethren, now invested in by this America with stocks of cocaine. Temporary monetary gain in exchange for eternal pain. While the stain of your false reality remains an ever-imprinted actuality on your kids and in your kids, as they too have to suffer with you through the bids. Just kids. Try not to let those lonely echoes bother. Knowing that father does not answer when they holler due to his undying infatuation with a dollar. Has been street scholar, now sees his toddlers through glass, and as the years pass, they grow fast and begin to understand. Damn. Dad didn't have to go away from us because he didn't love us, just that he wasn't no real fucking man. I'd be like, oh damn, that's that cat that changed his name from David to Ayatollah. High roller, Motorola soldier, Tech 9 under his polar ass nigga. Don't know his future or past nigga, but that fast trigger got this die-cast 40-ounce swigger thinking his shit is bigger than mine. Nigga, it's not surprising to find that your state of mind got you parking that $63,000 Lexus Flex right outside your mother's hard-earned $22,000 duplex. You know, the one right next to the projects where pseudo-elated, coke game-created, crime-related manhood got you ass out, nigga. Getting high till you pass out, nigga. Quick way up, fast way out, nigga. How you figure Your shit is bigger than mine. Man, I tell you, these fucked up times and hardcore rhymes got you throwing up gang signs and claiming coasts or shades of color with shameless boasts of emotionless lovers that gazed upon at ice that cluttered that pendant of that religion you do not follow. Your faith has evaporated and made your soul hollow. But I'll hate to play if you push me. See, nigga, while you stand there using all your heart trying to look the part with your cold, still eyes, nigga, you don't realize you just pussy for sale. Now, see, I would call you female, but you too frail. While she held queen, I mean, your existence is fractionally vaginal. Like the slits of the whores you use to suit your feeble needs. You know saturated soil and faulty fertilizer. Sure, your future seeds will be just like you, pussy, for sale. On corner auction block.
Welcome back to the Social Music Movement Podcast with your host, Mr. Make It Rain. Salute to Sister Taleah, Teflon, and King George 5000 in the building.
You know it, you know it, you know it.
The legendary Black Ice, y'all.
But we also have another king of substance in the room. And also his son and his family. Son, come on. Oh, yeah, stand with your father. That's what we do over here. Stand with your father. Another king of substance. You know what I mean? So please tell me what we here for and what we about to do.
All right, so
in the boxing world and the community.
All right, so what we doing is, well, I'm an ex-fighter. I'm a 7-time Golden Glove champion. I did turn pro. I have no losses, but what happened is I stopped boxing because my uncle put me on the business. Once he put me on the business, I started getting happy with that money. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't want to wait for world champion, world title money. So that money was coming faster than it was coming with boxing. You get what I'm saying? So I actually stepped away from boxing in 2015. I wasn't involved in boxing for about 7 years. And then, you know, boxers, like when they walk away, like something be calling you to come back. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to open up a gym. I'm going to go in there and train. And I'm just doing this just for myself. I wasn't thinking about being a coach. I wasn't thinking about being a promoter. I wasn't thinking about none of that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then as I was in the gym training, I had a fighter come in there named Tariq Green. Wow. I mean, that's one of my fighters now. But when he came in here, when he came in the gym, he was just training with me. I mean, we was working every day. The next thing you know, I turn around giving him pad work. Then I'm showing him different workouts and conditioning. Then I'm seeing his footwork wasn't right. I'm like, oh, bro, no, hold up. Let me show you how to do the footwork. So I start jumping off myself and start digging in with him. You get what I'm saying? Because he was a little bit ahead of me as far as getting ready to fight. You get what I'm saying? So I end up stepping away from the fighter. I mean, from the fighter mentality and start stepping more into the coaching mentality. You know what I mean? So the more and more I start dealing with him, the more I start falling in love with being a coach. So then I start training children that was in the community, in the neighborhood. I actually opened up a gym at the corner of my block. You know what I mean? So then I actually start training kids in the gym. A lot of kids couldn't afford the gym. So I just started training them for free. You know what I'm saying? Actually, today, people still can't afford the gym. The people that come into the gym can't even, the gym don't pay for the gym. I do other things to get the gym paid for. I own a fire restoration company. So the more and more I start training with Tariq, other fighters start clinging on to me, seeing what we was doing. We going out here, we fighting professional fights. He out here knocking dudes out. You get what I'm saying? Then more fighters start coming down. More fighters start coming down. Then coaches start coming in. And then I'm using all my connects from when I was a fighter, and I start putting all my connects on him and start putting the focus on him. And that's what turned me into a coach.
Nice.
Later on down the line, you know, I start getting more fighters, and now I see that certain promoters wasn't treating the fighters right. And I actually felt like that same situation they was going through, I was going through. You get what I'm saying? I had for a promotion company, I ain't gonna say the name, because he probably following me. You know what I mean? He probably on the live. But they burned me for some money. You know what I mean? When I fought, I didn't get paid all my ticket money. And I didn't want the other fighters to feel the way I felt when that happened to me, because I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to punch on, you know what I mean? For my money, you know what I mean? At that time, like, money wasn't coming through like it was coming through back in that time. So every dollar counted, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So at that time, we was doing whatever we had to do to get at this paper, you feel me? So now, all these fighters start coming through, and I just said, you know what? I'm gonna turn this into a promoting company, you know what I mean? So this right now show that's coming up. This is my first promotional company. My first show coming up in April 27th, and we trying to bring boxing back alive in the city. But not only that, we trying to bring boxing back alive in the city. When every show that we throw, what we're gonna do is we're gonna donate money back to some type of charity, or we're gonna donate some money. We're trying to donate money to the schools so we can install boxing into the schools. You get what I'm saying? That way, that stops some of the violence. In Philadelphia, you get what I'm saying? Might not stop everything, but it's a start. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I look at that because boxing saved me, because I was a trouble child. You feel me? Like I was in the streets, I was in placements. My advocate is the one that got me into boxing. So I was fighting. When I say I was rumbling a lot in the street, I was rumbling a lot. I'm talking about, I don't even think I got no losses. I was feeling myself, you feel me? And when he took me in the gym and I rumbled, probably like a good first round, I'm running through the dude, you know what I mean? Fight didn't even start yet, you know what I mean? Second round, ball start teeing off for me, and I'm like, oh, this shit real, you know what I mean? So then from that point on, the coach that was there thought I wasn't gonna come back. I'm like, no, I'm not coming back. You know what I mean? That's how I felt, you know what I mean? But when I woke up that morning, I'm like, no, I'm going back down this joint, you know what I mean? And I kept going and kept going and kept going until I got mine, you feel me? And that's what I'm trying to show these kids that come into the gym, you feel me? Like, boxing is, the discipline from boxing and being involved with boxing is like, that's serious, and it helped me grow, you feel me?
Absolutely.
So, like, and I got a nice little background, and this helped me, you know what I'm saying? And the people that's involved with boxing, you know what I mean, help push me to go farther with the things that I'm doing now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, like April 27th, we're gonna go ahead and throw our first promotion company. I'm not looking for world champions. I'm not looking for none of that. I'm looking for the fighters that don't got that other promoters not giving a chance to be able to display their talent. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. So we're gonna start off the first show in April. We make some good money, then we're gonna come right back every month, putting these fighters on. We making we connecting with different people, different TV stations. And we just working. I mean, I got a nice strong team behind me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bring more people behind me. You know what I mean? So that we can bring boxing back alive in Philadelphia.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. So real quick, but also shout out to Councilman Harity, Senator Sharif Street. You know what I mean? Straight from the gate, you know, when we walk in rooms, Councilman Curtis Jones and everyone else, you know, supporting it. And, you know, I'm honored, also thankful, you know, also reaching out by way of every time I get a call from out of town, you know, take care of my folks. But, you know, you guys are, you know, young men of substance. And that's what makes a big difference. Do you understand me? You know what I mean? Straight out the gate, Mr. Arley. And, you know, you've been in the public service. They pay 75. I'm sorry, I had to say it. That's why I lead with that. Pay $75,000 straight out their pocket. Let's go. Do you understand me? These are the people we need to be supporting, Mr. Arlene. You know what I'm talking about. Do you understand me? I mean, these are the ones that give them whatever they need to continue doing what they're doing. Do you understand me? So that's where we need to change the atmosphere in politics and in the community and even in entertainment. So with that being said, you know, thank you for, and I'm honored, you know, running, making sure the people of the boxing world, you know, for years, the elders, 30, 40, 50 years, even sitting at the table. And now we're about to, we're actually about to take the building back, the Frazier building that's now sitting. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
wow,
so-
y'all already get the Frazier building back.
You know, as we walked into, I mean, like,
Dope.
Y'all don't know how legendary
Let's
that
go.
is.
exactly,
dope.
they don't know
I mean,
how
from
legendary.
down my way,
Glenwood, we
you know
talking
what I'm
about
saying?
we talking about Broad Street and Glenwood. We talking
Yeah.
about Joe
But,
Frazier's
but,
gym.
but these
way.
are the people
mean
of
so
substance,
much.
you know, and others, you know, that I want to meet to say, but here you go, take it and run with it. Do you understand me? As soon as they walked in, I mean, the last time, you know, Councilman put other people out, I said, here you go. You know, it's a big difference, and we need more men like you. That's why, you know, legendary Black Ice, we're actually going to leave out with what he doesn't know. And this is a quirky part. Oh, George, he knows. Sit on the board of City of Dreams, Mr. And then more than a few others. You know, that's why they're here now. You know, it's, you know, not that Jay-Z or whatever crushed. No, he's always his words, his message, his strength, his delivery has always been everything to me. Even like I was telling him, sitting 7 years, you know, running up and down the East Coast, open up massages, nothing but the Quran or his words. Do you understand me? That's a big difference. I only he's like, you don't listen to poetry, not at all. Just his words. So all my artists, and he underestimates it. How many of them, all the videos, all the different, I will not support anything unless it's inspiration from off his off his work. So salute, King. Blackward
Thank you.
Social Music Movement.
Respect.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Teflon, Miss Darlene, CEO Road, the whole Glockware family. Such a salute. Salute, young King. Pay attention.
Yeah, I wish
You
my
understand
son
me?
was here. I tried to get my
What?
son to come because like you said, my son in 9th, 10th grade, he was, he I call him Kaiser Soze. You know what I'm saying? Because
he is.
because he's a brilliant cat.
Yes, he is. He's phenomenal.
But he's brilliant, but he's very, very street savvy.
Okay.
So my concern with him was always either like I always told him like you don't have no middle ground. Either you gonna do something to change the world for better, or you gonna do something to fuck the world up. There's no, me. I got an easy job. I can just kind of spew my opinion out and people listen to it. I said, but you got to do something more important than that. And he's hot headed, and I put him in Brazen Gym because that and it saved him. It knocked that chip off his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he stopped looking. He stopped looking everywhere for beef. And was just like, all right, I'm gonna do me. So I understand the power of the gloves. And shout out to the Lighthouse too, down. I don't know if that might be a little, before your time. Yeah, Masher and Lehigh, Waterloo and Somerset. They talk. That's why I learned how to squab at.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
See, exactly. That's building legacies, real legacies, not for likes or not for clout. No, none of that. Right now, we have the chance to change the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, real quick, you already see up in promotions. You already see what the projects that you're taking over, leading.
Oh yeah.
Changing the way we have so many different projects. Our new announcements for our new building, but I can't do it alone. I need my elders. I need my advisories. I need everything. Do you understand me? So nothing has changed. We just got stronger. So with that being said, real quick with the writing challenge, there's two different tours. Well, excuse me, two different projects that different schools. Also, we're taking the Juvenile Justice Center that the legendary Black Ice and his new management and PR team. I'll get you the information if you guys want to know. But it's two different projects. You want to talk on real quick? So we're out of here.
Well, the first one is the Black History Month Writers Challenge that we're starting off, and we're running that through the mastery schools, right? We started at the Shoemaker campus.
Yes.
And basically, it's just when I try to give back the way that it was poured into me, right? So I don't go out of my wheelhouse, So I know that, like I discovered after getting a couple of awards, and then schools started letting me in and teaching, doing developed some writing workshops. I realized that, oh shit, I'm just as dope of a teacher as I am on stage performing. Right. And then I got heavy into that. So cracking kids open, cracking young writers open to themselves is my, that's one of my biggest pleasures. So when Taleah stepped to me, we stepped about writing workshops, and then it's blossomed into these
which we're about to announce,
into all of these other
absolutely
ventures. So the first one is the Black History Month Writers Challenge. So I came up with a writers challenge, a poetry challenge, poetry and short essay challenge to find historical Black Philly icons. Not just your Patti LaBelle, your Will Smith, but let's get into let's really do some deep dives and see
the abolitionists, the founders,
how deep
our
ancestors,
ancestors.
Get kids to go research. So that's and it's a cash prize, right?
Yes, it is. You already know, City of Dreams, baby.
And then there's also Roland's Heart.
Yes.
Roland's Heart is a arts initiative. Like an overdose prevention arts initiative. It's titled Roland's Heart because my younger brother is named Roland. And on September 11th, 2021, I had a show at the NOMO, Center down Broad and Girard, and NOMO Foundation at Broad and Girard, and my brother and Roland, who was a dust head. I hadn't spoke to him since our father's funeral, which was June 27th, 2021. And then the day that I spoke to him, I had a show that night, and he was supposed to be with me. And selfishly, I ignored his phone call. And then at 10:30, and this is no embellishment at all. At 10:30, when I was closing the show, as I was closing the show, they was finding his body down Kensington Beach. And so, because I wasn't able to be impeccable with my word with my brother, that was probably one of the biggest lessons that I've learned and still learning in my life, that inspired me to come up with Roland's Heart, which is an overdose prevention arts initiative because he also was a creative. You know, he could do hair. He was an interior decorator. He was a hell of a visual artist. So I know the way that I pay that back and pay it forward. You know, and pay him back for dropping that ball. Is to run this arts initiative and help any and everybody I know, or anybody I might meet who's going through that same struggle, to possibly give them a portal out of that.
But also, you find a lot of musicians, creatives. You find everyone from all different walks of life. They're trying to disappear from something, and that's the important part. You know, the therapy, to be able to creative, express yourself. We don't do that anymore. Do you understand me? So that's the big hitter right there. Do you understand me? So it's legendary, to have, and the people that he's bringing on to these different projects, people of substance that really care. Y'all see what I be going through, back and forth, out here in these streets, block by block, knocking on doors. You've been with me for what, 12 years now? Do you understand me? Everything we do in the court systems, everything is game over. Do you understand me? So the announcements we're making, also with Teflon promotions, everything we're doing in the community. First thing I say is like, when you gonna ask for money? I don't want no money. Make sure I get the jobs that come in there. Right. Everybody knows how I am. Do you understand me? That's the first thing. And then he's even over there on break talking about, please ask for a check. I'm good. I'm doing this for a reason. God, Allah got us. Do you understand me? So game over. King George, yes. Thank you. I told you was gonna do it.
Absolutely.
Mr. Make It Rain. Salute, King. Thank you so much for staying by our side. You've been guiding me for years and years. Told you I still suck at Instagram, but I've been guiding me for years. So, with that being said, team, what we gonna do next?
Oh, y'all got y'all. Am I supposed to have my phone out?
Absolutely. Everyone run your Instagrams down, because we got one video to play, and yes, I paid a lot for it.
All right. So, if anybody out there looking for boxing classes or fighters looking for a promotion company and looking for a family and be able to get treated correctly and properly, you can come to us at 3239 Fox Street. We open from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. All right. And then on social media is Teflon Promotions.
Yes. King George.
I'm King George. I'm the owner of TY Productions. I'm the curator of Black 31 magazine. I'm an artist. I'm a poet. And I'm a curator of a magazine. That's what we do. Yes. And my Instagram is Black Magazine 31. That's
and also an honorary member of City of Dreams. He also helped pull a lot of poets together and so many different things, to give for free. Oh, yes, y'all do. That's why he's here. That's why he's here. Oh, he sat through hours and hours, all your stuff. And literally, yes, exactly. You have a lot of work to do, a lot of artists that admire you. That's why I'm here. Yes, exactly. So, Legendary Black Ice?
I'm not social media savvy.
At all.
So I'm not going to promise.
Worse than me.
Like I'm not gonna
Worse than me, and that says it all, y'all.
I'm not going to promise you. Like I say at my, I haven't posted something in, I think the podcast was the first thing I posted in months. So, but the Legendary Black Ice on Instagram, Lamar Manson, my government on Facebook.
Mr. Manson, that is.
Yeah, I'm not doing nothing wrong, so I ain't worried. I can say my government all day long. I'm no longer on the FBI list.
He said no longer. I'm gonna skip that one, Mr. Mr. Make It Rain.
This is Mr. Make It Rain, Mr. _ Make It _ Rain, or Mr. Dot Mr. Dot Make It Dot Rain, Nord Rainey NALD RAINEY on Facebook, and our international.
Yes, and salute to We Are Smart Academy. Miss Darlene, she has been in the city throughout citywide for over 40 years, just retired, but out here heavier than she ever has been before. Salute Queen, CEO Rowe. Up next, we out Chester with it. The whole Teflon team. I try to push them in here. You know what I mean? And also the Rainy team. Salute King. And Queen. This is what it's about. Toucan, let's take him out of here. This is one of your projects, actually.
Salute, huh?
He don't even know it. Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about? What you pay for?
1 second. He really underestimates they will not.
What do you know? Should not get approval? Should I get approval for these things?
They just killed my homie, I can't sleep, I thought it was a dream. All these nightmares in this city, your best bet is following your dream. I get confused cause they say we come from slaves, I be feeling like a king. I be feeling like a king. I ain't running away from nothing, I'm just chasing my dream, I'm just chasing my It's hard to live right, they did me dead wrong. Nightmares, I gotta be headstrong. Took a look back and all my friends gone. Still got my kids, I hope I live long. Gotta find a way quick. Wasn't on my job, I tried to play sick. All this running the streets, I gotta stay fit. Life is a movie, we ain't reading from the same script. Nobody gon' hold me back, but I mean it this time. Fresh start, I think I need to rewind. And I promise not to leave my own people behind. We all leaving in a box, but it keep us in line. This ain't about the lifestyle of the rich and famous. This about my lifestyle, cause it's getting dangerous. It ain't funny no more, they killing entertainers. How I'm supposed to stay the same, going through these different changes. What goes around comes around is true. You don't change, the people around you do. They say it's love, but that hardly exists. I'm in the grind, you know how many parties I miss trying to follow these dreams? They just killed my homie, I can't sleep, I thought it was a dream. All these nightmares in this city, your best bet is following your dream. I get confused cause they say we come from slaves, I be feeling like a king. I be feeling like a king. I ain't running away from nothing, I'm just chasing my dream, I'm just chasing my